Welcome back to 1969. As the Apollo astronauts hurtled towards the moon, an anxious world looked on in wonderment. Would they succeed and land men on the moon? In the build-up to this amazing event, Earthlings were caught up in moon mania.
Oh, geez, that's great. Is the lighting halfway decent?
Savvy marketers were not going to let this momentous event go unnoticed. Advertising and merchandising brought the Apollo mission to everyone's home through souvenirs, toys, and promotional products. The Apollo 11 Pop-Up Museum was created to share the excitement that people experienced over 50 years ago when the Apollo 11 moon landing captured the world's attention. My collection began in 1969 as a 9-year-old who intently followed the space race. One of the first items was this Saturn V rocket model I received for Christmas that year. Seems like every kid in the United States wanted this giant rocket model. Cleverly packaged in a colorful 40-inch tall box. It even has the original price tag of $7.88 attached. My model building skills were not great, as most of this model still resides in this large box. Another early item was this tin astronaut bank. You put a dime in it each day, and once you had accumulated $5 worth, the bank would automatically open so you could get your savings out. Soon the space race invaded the kitchen. Companies took advantage of the space race and used it to brand their company. Coffee cans were adorned with space-themed art. Jelly jar lids would commemorate different NASA missions. A box of tinfoil would come with a map of the solar system. Even sugar packets were moon-themed. America was crazy for space. We wanted to know every aspect of a moon mission, including how the astronauts would eat in space. For the Apollo program, Pillsbury Company created space food sticks, specially sealed wrappers filled with a Tootsie Roll-style stick that was nutritionally balanced food. Every kid wanted to find this snack in their lunchbox. If it was good enough for the astronauts, it must be good enough for me. Items that were given away free with company logos were then called advertising specialties. Now they are known as promotional products or swag. These products were everywhere in the 1960s and 70s. I learned premiums were gifts with purchase, and savvy marketers used space-themed gifts and prizes to entice consumers to purchase their products. Buy Coca-Cola and get a free space map and record. Gas stations relied heavily on these premium gifts to differentiate their brand, using coins, maps, toys to get you to visit their gas station and get your business. And it worked. I badgered my parents to gas up at a nearby Gulf gas station so I could get this free with a fill-up lunar module model, a piece so fragile and complicated to assemble, I doubt a child could finish it. I am still amazed at the creativity and art of space race memorabilia. Printing many of these designs proved challenging. This book, produced by CBS TV Network to give to their clients, is one example. A moon crater embossed dust jacket on the outside, and inside, TV screenshots of Walter Cronkite's coverage of the moon landing in real time make this book a unique collectible. Toy manufacturers created models, large and small, puzzles, board games, pennants, patches, buttons, all aimed at a generation of kids who were experiencing the impact of the space program on their daily lives. You could even own a replica of the plaque that was left on the moon. Records were big sellers and were also marketed as corporate premium gifts to enhance sales. Even though these records have different album covers, most all featured the same recordings from the moon landing, and Neil Armstrong's famous words, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." Remember slides and films? These audiovisual materials were sold alongside travel souvenirs. You could find slides to show your family and friends what it was like on the moon. From Viewmaster reels, Super 8 home movies, cassette and 8-track tapes, they all brought the moon landing to your living room. These items were sold in stores and also by elaborate direct mail promotions. Over the years, I acquired some unique items at auction. Buzz Aldrin's used sunglasses, complete with Beta Cloth sunglass case and serial number. One of my favorite items is a pack of chewing gum that was on board Apollo 11, complete with Velcro tab on back. This lunar sample collection bag was used in astronaut training. One of these that went to the moon was inadvertently sold by NASA, complete with moon dust, and was sold at auction for $2 million. Unfortunately, this one stayed here on Earth. A crew cap from the USS Hornet, the Navy recovery ship that plucked the Apollo 11 astronauts from the sea and sent them on their journey home. When the Apollo 11 astronauts returned to Earth, they were honored with a ticker tape parade in New York City on August 13, 1969. Here are some computer punch cards from that parade. A dinner program from the Apollo Splashdown Party hosted by President Nixon to welcome the astronauts back home. Fisher space pens were born in the 1960s as a solution to writing in space, both upside down and in zero gravity. Fisher still manufactures these incredible pens, and through my advertising business, I sell these as exclusive business gifts. Many of the brands that used Apollo imagery are still in business today and continue to sell their space-associated products, like Omega watches and Hasselblad cameras. Over 50 years later, moon-themed advertisements still appear in newspapers and on TV. Lego and other companies are still selling Apollo-related toys decades later. The world's fascination with space continues. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of my time capsule collection of space race souvenirs and this peek into the past.